Hey, and welcome to another episode of Back from the Future. Now, today we're going to be talking about the new Queen movie that's been released. And I've already done a reaction video for the trailer. And so now we're going to do a review of what my thoughts were regarding the film. Now, let's cut to the chase and let's discuss what the film's about. Well, my opinion is, look, the film critics have got the movie wrong, and I'm going to explain to you why. The whole film, I think, it's a crowd-pleasing movie. It pleased the fans, but not the critics. It's a biopic of Queen, basically. It's about the band and the late great Freddie Mercury. Now, the thing I think most of the critics are going on about is that the movie played safe. Originally, it was Sacha Baron Cohen who was going to play Freddie Mercury, but he wanted to take it down a darker road and talk more about Freddie Mercury's personal life. To me, I like the music, and I don't think the movie should be about his personal life. It should be about his work, his music. I never listened to Queen because I was interested in his personal life. I listened to Queen because I loved and enjoyed the music, and that's what the film is about. And I think the executive producers, i.e. Brian May and Roger Taylor, that's the direction they wanted to take it, and I think they did a brilliant job. Now, I know it got a very low score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't care. I absolutely love the film. From the opening scene when you see the beginning of Live Aid. The most amazing thing about the film is, usually when you go to watch a movie, you're watching a movie. But the way they shot this movie, you're almost a part of the movie. You're watching it from a perspective like you're almost there as things rolled out or played out. Now, the film isn't historically correct. It is what it is, done extremely well. They could have made it historically correct and made a bad movie, but they made a historically incorrect movie but made it a great movie. Originally, Bryan Singer shot most of the movie, but 2 weeks before the film was about to wrap up, he started not turning up on set. There was a lot of drama going on. He eventually got fired by the studio, and Dexter Fletcher came in to finish the movie off. And to be honest, I think every frame of every scene of the film, you're invested. You can't take your eyes off the screen. It's one of those movies that when it comes out on Blu-ray, I think I'll get a copy. Of it just so I can watch it from my home. But the thing about this movie is, if you really want to enjoy the movie, you've got to see it on a big screen, if possible IMAX, because the opening scene is when you see Wembley during the Live Aid concert, and the thing is, you're watching it from almost like Freddie's perspective of how it would have looked to watch over 100,000 crowd members looking back at you. It's a journey. This movie takes you on a journey. The Rami Malek, amazing. He sold the movie, honestly, on his performance. There's certain scenes where you think, damn, that he every little nuance of Freddie Mercury he managed to grab. Although some say that Sacha Baron Cohen maybe looked more like Freddie Mercury, not bothered. He did it, and he did it well. The guy that played Brian May, I don't know what to say, of gobsmacked. Honestly, I can't wait to see the movie again. If I can get a chance, I'll go see it again. Now, the most interesting thing that people don't realise about the film, although, people are saying it's formulaic, but it's formulaic done well, brilliantly. Now, another thing that I like doing movie reviews, but I also like talking about certain technical aspects of the movie that people may not realise. This film was shot on an Arri 65. That cinema camera, the body alone is 150 grand if you can get hold of one, if Arri will sell you one. And the lenses they used on that camera, a lot of people you don't realize that the actual lenses they use, they're called Arri DNA lenses, and the glass they used is actually cut from vintage glass. Now, the reason they're cut from vintage glass is modern day glass is too clinically sharp. Now, our eyes don't focus clinically sharp. Our eyes focus is quite soft. Now, vintage glass can mimic the way your eyes see. Modern day lenses are just too damn sharp, and life isn't, when you look at stuff, it isn't as sharp as what these modern day lenses can do. So they've got hold of this vintage glass and put a housing on it, and then stuffed that on the front of the camera. These lenses are so rare from Arri, you can't even buy them. You could only rent them from Arri. This is how rare the lenses that they've used for the film are. Also, the great thing about the movie as well, that it covers most of the Queen's greatest hits, and especially the Live Aid scene where he covers a lot of those tracks as well. But one of the tracks that I felt quite important that was missed out was the cover for Highlander, It's a Kind of Magic. I think, but how many songs can they fit into the movie? I mean, I think when Queen originally did Live Aid, his set was a set of 6 songs, and a large portion of the movie covers those songs within the Live Aid scene. We do get to see some of the ideas and concepts behind Bohemian Rhapsody and a few of the other tracks as well, like Under Pressure and so forth. And it's just it's quite comedic as well, and it's quite fun. Mike Myers makes a reference to Bohemian Rhapsody in the respects that he says that no, it's not the kind of track that people will want to bang their heads when they're in a car. And of course, he used that track in his film Wayne's World, which was back in the 90s. So I love those little movie references. Although they're not historically correct, they just made the film so much fun to watch. And that's what Queen was all about. The music was great, it was fun, and it was entertaining as well. So, and the movie captures that to a T. The thing about this film that I think is quite important is you got Freddie Mercury was a baggage handler. You had Brian May, who was an astrophysicist, Roger Taylor, who was going to be a dentist, and you had John Deacon, who was going to be an electrician. Now, you've got all these different characters that come together and formulate Queen. And it just goes to prove that old proverb that you are greater than the sum of your parts. And that is what the movie's about. And that is what Queen is about. They say that blood makes you relative, but it's loyalty that makes you family. And that is what the movie is about. And guys, I'm going to leave it on that note. Hopefully you enjoyed this movie review. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Join me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And hopefully I'll see you in the future, if there is one.